I'm Joe.
And I'm Lee.
We are the Rewinders, rewatching childhood movies to see if they still hold up. This week we watched Splash. Sort of.
Kind of. I always thought this movie had an exclamation point at the end of its title. Splash.
Huh.
That's what I thought.
Well,
it doesn't, though.
with the font type that they have,
It makes it look like it.
it would look like it could have one. Like the end of the S that winds around.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And there's little water droplets and stuff
I can see
on
that.
it. Wow. I think, remember, you said Mannequin was a movie that opened up your mind or memories to, not mind, but memories of seeing it in the past. Like, that was this movie for me of, that's where this scene is from in my brain of this thing happening. Wow.
I had a bit of that too.
Wow.
Not as much as Mannequin, but a little bit of the same in this.
I definitely only saw this one time when I was a kid off TV.
Oh, okay.
And it was a really good view off of TV because there was a naked lady walking around. Channel 32 was awesome. That's what I watched a lot of.
UPN.
This was way before UPN. Maybe that's why they got away with a lot of stuff. There were a lot of people in this movie that I didn't know.
Yes.
So you got Tom Hanks, Daryl Hannah. Those two I knew about.
Yeah.
But then John Candy shows up.
Yeah.
It's holy shit, John Candy's in this movie. Then Eugene Levy, he's funny too. Those two Canadians. And Ron Howard directed this.
Yeah. And if you saw in the credits at the end, there's about like 30 Howards in the movie.
Yes, that's nothing. His brother is in this movie too. Clint Howard. Gotta give him some work.
Darlene Howard and
Yeah,
Shifty Howard.
I saw the
and-
other Howard. And the Three Stooges. My memories of this movie are very little. Besides mermaid and person being naked is what I remember the most.
Yep.
I remember the ending of this movie. I remember a weird song. And, it was, what was it? Oh, I remember he's in his apartment and there being a big statue or something with water, a fountain.
Yeah.
But I didn't remember that it was actually a fountain. I just had images of it and being a kid wondering how the hell did they get that up through the elevator into, even as a kid, how did that get into his apartment? That's really about it.
For me, the main memory that always stuck out was her pouring the Morton's salt into the bath.
Oh, that's right.
And unfurling her
Yes.
tail as that kind of reveal that, yes, she is a mermaid.
Yep. Oh, and that's right. I remember her saying her actual name in her language and breaking all the TVs. That was another scene I remembered.
So there was that scene, of course, walking out at the Statue of Liberty.
Well, that's a nude scene.
The
so
nude
I remember
scene,
that.
yeah. But I don't label it as a nude scene in my memory.
Sure.
It was just more the fact that everyone's like, "Hey, naked lady,
Yeah,
hey!"
lady.
So
Yeah, that's
cueing
true.
me in as everyone thinks that's something.
Well, let's get into 1984 Splash.
All right.
Might as well. That's got our memories as a kid, and so we start off, and it's a Touchstone movie, so therefore it's already good in my brain. Apparently, from nostalgia at least. I think we're on a ferry, and it's in the past. Everything's sepia tone.
You know it's in the past
Yeah.
because of sepia tone.
Yeah, sepia tone, and they're in Cape Cod in the 60s, we'll say. Probably
20 years ago.
Oh, it
and
did say
was
20?
Made, yeah. And
Okay.
it's,
1980. That's right. You're right. So they're on a ferry or booze cruise because there's a band playing.
I'll say it's a booze cruise.
I think it was a booze cruise. Yeah, there's family and there's a bunch of kids around, and this scene that's what this is from. A little boy has changed, and he's behind other girls a little bit older than him, probably teenage, drops coins down and picks them up and looks up their dresses.
Mm-hmm.
And now I remember that scene. Like that's from.
And as a kid, I thought that was funny.
Yes.
But didn't have any reason why it was funny. And then seeing it as an adult, it's like, it's funny once because how stupid it is.
Yes. And he does it twice, a couple times.
Yeah.
And then you see his parents, they're talking about going out to Cape Cod, the island, which is Cape Cod is not an island. It's an extension off of Massachusetts, but whatever. And then you see the boy who was looking up dresses. His younger brother sees something in the water. He's looking over the ledge, and he's curious about it, and he jumps in purposefully and is in the water smiling. Everyone else is freaking out. They jump in after him, and he sees something in the water. Something in the water. But they do show us. They show it's a little girl.
Yeah, and
smiling.
she's cute.
Yep, and they're smiling. Grab the boy. They bring him back up. He's safe, even though he was safe underwater. And the little girl is sad. She's crying as the ferry leaves, and then she goes underwater, and you see a little splash. Or
Tiny
it could,
tail.
It could be another fish. We don't know.
Could be. It was going to eat her.
Help. Let me flash forward. I think it says today or something like that.
Yeah, something
and
like
now
that.
we're in New York City. We're down at the docks or something.
Down at the docks.
Yep. Alan and Freddie, those were the two boys. So Alan is played by Tom Hanks, and then you have Freddie, who's played by John Candy. They're brothers and they're business together, and they run a wholesale fruits and vegetables. That's right.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember what they did. I didn't remember any of this part of the movie. So it just really quick scene if just Tom Hanks or Alan talking to everybody that he's the guy in charge, and he's making wheeling and dealing, and one guy wants his cherries so bad, but they're gross. They're slimy because Freddie made a bad deal because Freddie is the kind of guy that doesn't really work at the business. He takes advantage of it, getting money because he has a hot rod car. He's a sports car, and he's excited not about the business. He's excited because he got his penthouse letter.
Yeah. Whatever fantasy story he wrote up got published in Penthouse, and he's handing it out to everybody at work. Yeah,
he has a bunch of magazines. Did you know the story name that he wrote?
Oh, I forgot it. It's called, but I know they say it.
A lesbian, no more.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it just shows that one's a
hard worker.
The other one doesn't really know. But actually, then they go up to their office and they see their receptionist, and I'm going to skip past her because I didn't like her character at all.
Okay.
I thought she was pretty dumb and not funny. She's supposed to be funny because the idea is that she is hit in the head as an older lady as a receptionist.
Struck by lightning.
Oh, that's not what it was?
Yeah, she got struck by lightning.
I guess she started trying to bit. And
the whole character is a bit, and it's never devolved, and
it's not funny.
It doesn't make sense having it there. Here's some.
She's not dumb, but she's a eccentric older lady. She never gets her messages right. Later on, she's wearing her bra on her outside. Later on, she's wearing a showering cap. So I'm going to skip this character completely because she's not important. But then they go into their office. What John Candy's good at, though, is he's good at wheeling and dealing because he made a deal with a grocery store entire chain, and so now they're going to get a whole bunch more business. So that's what he's good at.
Yeah, but he lied in order to get that.
He lies, but he got he's a good guy though. He's really nice. He really loves his brother. Did you look around their office?
Not really.
Okay. Well, the main thing though is, and you get to see this later on in Alan's apartment, is he's got a fish tank behind him that he feeds.
That I did see because I was like, oh, okay, so we're
right away getting into it. And Alan gets on the phone, and it's his soon-to-be ex-girlfriend who's basically moving out right now, Victoria, and she's gone. We never see her, just on the phone. We never even hear her voice. It's just she's breaking up with Tom Hanks or breaking up with Alan because he can't say I love you.
He does not commit.
Yep, he doesn't want to commit. I'm trying to remember things that happened.
So then, Alan then starts talking about how he can't be loved. But then there's a coworker's wedding.
That's right. They get invited to the coworker's wedding. While they're there, then you see Freddie do his thing while they're outside of the church. He drops his change and looks up dresses. Alan stops him pretty quickly, and then they walk in. Yeah. I still like Freddie, though, because earlier in the scene, he was kissing Alan's head. He just kept gave him a headlock, and he was kissing the top of Alan's head. Like,
he's very.
I love this head. I love this man.
He's very bombastic.
Yeah. It's John Candy. Yeah. So Alan is an usher there, I guess, at his coworker's wedding. Both of them
seem to be ushers.
Just telling. And the joke is, as people come in, oh, where's Victoria, your girlfriend? Oh, she's just sick. Making excuses each time. Yeah. It gets worse and worse as everybody's asking about this awesome person that we've never seen. That she was just amazing girlfriend. Clint Howard walks in. Hey, so he's about to ask a question or something, and Alan just yells at him. And so now it's later on at a bar or something, and
he is
Alan
toasted.
Alan is drunk on the bar. His face inside a bowl of pretzel bowl comes up, and there's a pretzel stuck to his eye. I'm on the bar. How did I get on the bar? And he kind of falls off of it. Freddie's helping him up, and
see some ladies.
Freddie literally chases these women.
Yeah,
with his kind of like his hands out, like trying to grab them. They're giggling. Ooh, they go and sit down and they start talking.
That's how it works.
That is how it works. Wait, we've done this. We've done this exact same scenario. You chase the women. I pretend to be drunk.
I don't remember this.
Yeah, we were really drunk.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's not true. We don't do it. I was calling myself Zoidberg that night.
Yeah, so Alan is very drunk while Freddie is talking to these two ladies, and he sees some people over at the bar, and he's just talking about love and how, I can tell that you guys are in love, and these two other people, this one guy is
trying to hook up with that lady,
a random lady.
She's just like, to both of them.
Yeah. And he's just talking about love, and he's just I think Alan is just trying to remember last time he felt love, and that's when it kind of hits him. Cape Cod, that's the last time. I'm going to Cape Cod tonight, right now, and he's still in his tuxedo and whatnot. And Freddie, being an awesome, not awesome brother, but at least loving brother, says, I'll drive you. No, that's fine. I'll take a cab. All right, you got money? Great. All right, go drunk in a cab, go to Cape Cod, which is apparently 3 hours away from New York City. At least that's what the cabbie says.
I thought he said 300 miles.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
So yeah. You're right.
It might take a little bit longer than 3 hours.
I like the cab they got in. It was old yellow cab. It's morning now, and we're in Cape Cod. Tom Hanks is on the beach. He's wandering around because the cabbie dropped him off on the wrong side or whatever. Yeah. And then we see, we'll just call him a doctor scientist, and he's with two bumbling idiots, which are not funny. They're, hey, we're really dumb.
Yeah.
Hey, you're dumb too. And he calls them the moron twins. He says, we're not twins. Again, I'm going to skip past these two guys because none of their comedy lands and it's not funny. It's just very broad, dumb.
And again, it's just not, they don't do anything with it.
They don't. Nothing gets, there's not a point where all of a sudden they're the ones that figure out a solution. And they're not dumb.
They do push the plot at one point.
By accident, but not really, though. And so Eugene Levy is the doctor. He's a cryptozoologist.
Sure, yeah, that seems
He's not. Right. He's not a real.
Don't say that about cryptozoologists.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to just offend all of them that are listening to this. Bring it. Show me proof. Where's the proof? Show me your Sasquatch dung and Sasquatch or beef squash. Or whatever. Where are those hodags?
They're in Rhinelander.
Where's the proof?
It's right on the highway.
Eugene Levy's got to find this stuff.
Oh my god!
Alan asks, "Can you get me on a boat because they're unloading a bunch of equipment?"
And because he sees they have a boat.
They have a boat, and can you put me over there on the island, whatever island Alan is talking about there? Eugene Levy. I don't even know his name. It's called
Burntwood or
Dr. Kornbluth.
Kornbluth. I was close. Burntwood was close.
I'm going to call him Eugene Levy because that's easier.
I wrote everyone's real name down.
Do you just want to call him by the regular name?
Sure.
Whatever. We can go back and forth. And he's very suspicious of what Alan is doing there because he's asking him questions. He's dressed in a tuxedo. Yeah. Just to show how eccentric Eugene Levy is, I guess. Eugene Levy tells him, go away. Whatever. Alan finds a guy.
Fat Jack.
Was that what his name was?
The big guy with the tiny boat was Fat Jack.
Yeah, he finds a guy to in a little tiny boat to get him across. They hired. The boat breaks down. Well, because the fat guy rocking it because Alan can't swim and he's afraid of water.
Yeah.
And that's why the fat guy joking with him rocks the boat, gets water in the engine, hits it with a hammer saying he's a good mechanic, but can't fix it, jumps out of the boat and says, I'll be right back. It's only a couple miles ashore. And then I'll come back with a smaller boat, an even smaller, more silly boat. Tom Hanks manages to fix the engine, but it goes too fast and he falls out.
Yeah.
And he
zooms around, hits him in the head.
Gives his noggin a flogging and he's going down, but then something grabs him and pulls him ashore.
Something.
So he's ashore now. Right away, I see the scene. You are not in Cape Cod, Massachusetts. You are in the Bahamas somewhere.
Yeah, because they are.
Because they actually are. They shot. There's no way that you're.
That's a nice beach.
It's a really nice beach. On. Yep. He's wondering what happened. He's got his head hurts, and then you see in some bushes, safely off a little bit to the side, Daryl Hannah.
Creeping on him hardcore.
Yep. She's got long, really light blonde hair, and it's crimped and
it's 80s.
And she's just observing, and he notices her and says, "Come over here." And does she walk over right away?
It's like you think she's running away, but then she runs out onto the beach.
Yeah, she runs out on the beach. In her eyes, she recognizes him, and she comes over. And what's the first thing she does is meow.
Yep.
French kisses going.
Lazing on him.
He's just standing there, this naked lady with long hair, and her long hair covering most of her bits.
That's clinging just right to her hips so that it doesn't leave her butt.
Because then she runs away into the water, and you can see that it's taped to her lower back to cover her butt. And she goes into water, and he's asking, "What's your phone number?" and all this other stuff, and he wants to follow, but he keeps on saying, "I can't swim," and so she goes off. Earlier, and when Tom Hanks fell in the water, he lost his wallet. She goes and finds the wallet, actually encounters Eugene Levy, who was scuba diving, and he sees her, tries to get a picture. She swims away too fast. But now he saw her.
Yeah, so he knows
she exists, and that's what he was looking for.
Yes.
That's why he was there, is to find the evidence of mermaids in this area.
The other thing I liked was after she left Tom Hanks or Alan behind, and he turned his back to the water, you see her breach and do like a flip in the back of the scene, and it looks fairly good for its time, and probably money they put into it.
Oh, I did not even see that.
She does like a backflip because she's so happy that she found him.
Oh, wow. I missed that completely. But she finds the wallet, and then she takes it and goes to a abandoned pirate ship and finds a old map. Where New York, because she's looking at his address, and then she figures it out. Oh, he's in New York City. I'm going to travel to New York City. And so this raises several questions, because later on we find out she can't speak English.
Yes.
But she can read. Apparently, because she figures out where New York City is.
Or maybe she just was, like word matching.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, she is very intelligent.
Yes.
That is established later on. But the other problem is, how does Alan get back home? He doesn't have a wallet, doesn't have any money. Hitchhike?
I don't know.
I know, it doesn't matter, because it just cuts back, and he's back in New York City.
I'll assume he either still had grass, ass, or gas with him.
What are you talking about? Is that a saying?
Maybe.
I've never heard of this. You're saying he has marijuana, he could sell his ass, or he could pass? What's the saying?
No, he wouldn't be able to supply gas, I'm guessing.
Gas.
Because he wouldn't have money. Unless he had canisters with him.
Was the other part of your saying ass?
Yes.
What are you implying, Joe? The rules of the road?
It's the rules of the road. But yeah, so he gets back to town, and he's at work again.
He's at work again. He's bonked his head. He's not too sure exactly what happened. And I think that's really nothing else happens there, because then we go to Ellis Island, and there's a tour going on underneath the Statue of Liberty, and she walks up naked out of the water, and everybody sees her. And there's the park guide or whatever, the ranger. As she's walking up, you hear him off camera. He says, "Follow me if you'll all follow me. And now don't touch the hat. This is my hat." And at first when I saw this, I thought it was Egon or Harold Ramis.
Harold Ramis.
Hey, thank you. It's just another guy. And then he's saying,
it was about how the French donated the statue to America.
Oh, that's right.
And somehow he worked naked ladies.
He's like, and there's a naked lady, and he says, "Holy bocce balls," or something like that.
Yeah, just bocce balls.
Or he just yells, "Bocce balls."
That's an awesome exclamation. I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm. That was actually pretty good. Then a mob of people are trying to get their pictures taken with her. The police come and just kind of push them away.
See, that's how good police are in New York. That 5 of them responded really fast for a naked lady.
Well, maybe they were there.
I didn't see any city cops when I was at Ellis Island. Is that Ellis Island?
That's Ellis Island.
Ellis Island was where they have the museum, though.
Isn't there a museum underneath? Off the side of the Statue of Liberty?
It's on a different island.
So what is the island that the Statue of Liberty is on?
Liberty Island?
Okay. Well, then I was calling it the wrong thing. Whatever. We're ignorant. Yeah, the cops push the mob away. They're taking pictures of her, and they put a shirt on her. It's a I Heart New York shirt on there. She hands him Alan's wallet, because she can't speak English, but she knows what this is. She points at it, and they bring her back. Basically, the police call him, and he runs down to the police station.
Yeah,
more makeouts.
Yeah, as soon as she sees him.
Yep. Oh, jeez, I don't know if you tried doing that to him.
And then everyone from behind the counter is like, "Aw."
Yeah, that's nice. Because they heard the music cue as well.
Yeah.
Aw, that's so nice. Hey, do you know this lady? No, I have no idea who she is, but she's making out with me, so, and she's hot, so I'm
lucky you.
Yoy.
And that's it.
They go back to his apartment. She is just draping all over him and just pawing at him and kissing his neck as they go into the elevator, and they start making out, and then the camera tilts up to see what floor they're going to be on, and it stops. They have sex in the elevator.
So they stopped the elevator?
I think they stopped the elevator.
No idea.
I'm going to say they did it.
I'm going to agree with you because that's what the vibe I got from the movie.
That's what I got from the movie. And the next scene is he's coming out and he's singing Yippity Doo Dah and getting her food on a tray. And he's telling her that he's late for work. It's now 3:00 because they've probably been having sex this entire time because she's still horny for him and pointing at him. He says, "I have to go to work. It's 3:00. He leaves, then comes back, says, he says, "Oh, I have to leave now. You're going to put me in the hospital if we keep this up." And he leaves, but then comes back and says, nothing really gets started until 4:00.
It's a weird job that you go in there in the morning, but nothing starts until 4 p.m. There's wasted hours happening there.
Yeah, it would be early in the morning for a warehouse on the docks when you have to get all the produce right away.
Yeah, I don't know why you'd be doing that at 4 p.m. But whatever.
Whatever. Yeah, you'd be there at 3 in the morning.
Yes.
Whatever. Yeah, they get there and he's happy, and Freddy can tell there's a change, something has happened. My brother is really, really happy now.
Yeah. He leaves the TV on in the apartment for Fish Lady so that she can have something to do.
Yes, that's right.
And while Alan's off to work, she is watching commercials. She sees ladies walking in dresses, and she likes that.
Bloomingdale's.
And women be shopping.
Bloomingdale's. Commercial keeps on repeating. Yes. Bloomingdale's over and over. Okay, she got it.
He, like an idiot, left his credit card with her.
She just puts on a suit and shoes of his and goes downstairs, and the doorman, and he asks where would you like to go, and she manages to say Bloomingdale's, gets her in a cab, they go to Bloomingdale's, she's looking around at all the pretty things, and the shopper, the clerk that works at Bloomingdale's says, ooh, do you like this? We got to get you out of this old fashion that you're wearing this man's suit, and I'm sure she's the one who said, oh, you have this wallet, yoink, credit card, swipe. That's, I'm sure, to take advantage of
If she's
this.
Working on commission?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because she got her a bunch of clothing and outfits and whatnot.
Yep.
Daryl Hannah, mermaid. That's the thing, though. We didn't say this, is when she's on land, she has legs. When she's in the water, she has her fishtail.
It's not
completely
really
established
yet,
but she's able to transform into a human, I guess we'll say.
Yeah. So she's not just flopping around.
Yeah. She's not flopping around. She looks normal.
Yeah.
Anyway, she walks by some televisions, and now she sees more commercials, and so she's standing there, taking this all in. Then we cut to Eugene Levy, and he's meeting with a board of other scientists. And all this scene shows is that they ridicule him and make fun of him for believing that mermaids exist. Even his mentor or teacher or whatever says those are just stories to keep you entertained. You weren't supposed to actually believe them. Yeah. And so just to show that he's ridiculed, the reason why he goes to New York is he's on the boat and he sees one of the dumb guys that his helpers has a tabloid newspaper that says naked woman on.
And he recognizes her
Statue of Liberty. Yeah.
From being the mermaid that he saw underwater.
Yes, and that's how the dumb guys help move the plot.
And then they're never seen again.
Eugene Levy goes to New York, and I'm going to be able to find this woman very easily because New York doesn't have that many people.
And there's not that many women there.
No, not really. It's really easy.
Sausage fest.
Well, you've been there. I haven't, so.
It's pretty much equal parts.
We all know it's full of mermaids that are actually women in disguise because Eugene Levy's looking around, and he takes his idea, because he knows this because he's been studying this, is this after or am I skipping ahead?
You're a little bit ahead of
I'm
yourself.
a little bit ahead of myself.
Yeah,
because the movie hasn't shown this yet. So do you want to take it from here?
On the TVs, because they cut back to her watching TVs. Yeah, Crazy Eddie, and you could tell she's like really into it and being scared by him. I think there was some other stuff on the TV, but I just wrote down Crazy Eddie.
There were just commercials like a Colgate commercial and other stuff.
Tom Hanks goes home, sees that she's not home, and freaks out and asks the doorman after like searching all over the place for her, and he said, "Oh yeah, I put her in a cab to Bloomingdale's." I
like Tom Hanks when he whistling. He has flowers in his hand, and the camera just stays outside of his apartment by the elevators. Goes in, comes out, back out in a panic, and he goes and drops his flowers, and he pushes the two buttons one side or the other of the elevators. So there's one elevator and another cross, and he just stands there waiting to see which one comes up first. Just his hands out. Which one do I go to? Okay, this one. Yeah, I liked a little bit of comedy from Tom.
Yeah.
Okay.
He ends up rushing down to Bloomingdale's. By the time the store is shutting down, that's when he gets there.
That's right.
One of the guys in the electronics section doesn't have the heart to kick Daryl Hannah out.
Yeah, she's been there for 6 hours.
Exercising.
She's watching Richard Simmons, and she's been exercising and talking to another clerk. Hey, she's been here for 6 hours. We'll give her some more time. Whatever, we'll watch her work out.
And then when Tom Hanks makes his way there, they're shutting off all the TVs and telling her, okay, you gotta go now. You got it. We're closing.
Yep.
Tom Hanks is like, oh, sorry guys, she doesn't speak English, blah, blah, blah. Daryl Hannah turns around and says, hey, Alan, did you have a good day today?
Ooh, she chooses to speak English now.
So now she can speak because she watched TV all day.
She watched TV.
And they start having a, let's say, romantic walk downtown New York as they talk to each other about like, oh, what are all these things that I need to talk to you about? Yeah,
but this is a scene where he asks, what's your name? I can't really say it.
Oh,
and it goes, and it shatters all the TVs.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a dolphin sound.
Yeah, dolphinish, type sound is her actual name. Yeah, they're all there in New York City, and he's asking who are all these questions, but she is, what are all these things?
Yeah, she's
encountering
all new things too.
All new things, and she sees, she hears music. She says, I've never heard music before. I've seen it on the TV, and she's also talking like all the commercials. So he asks, how long are you going to be here? For 6 beautiful days or something like she said about 6 days. So there's a time limit to her. Oh, until the full moon. That's what it is.
Yeah, so they kind of hint at there's some sort of magic involved.
Yeah, some sort of magic in the full moon, and then she has to go back to under the water. Did you look, because since they're walking around New York City, do you see any signs of movies?
I got my note right here saying in the background, they totally skipped out on watching The Evil Dead.
Yep, they could have seen
theater.
Evil Dead.
That would have been a great way to initiate a new person into what it's like to be a human.
Exactly. And then it was a double bill of Evil Dead and this British horror movie called Extra. If you've ever seen this.
I've not.
Bizarre movie. That movie's crazy. You gotta see it. So a double bill of Evil Dead and this movie Extra. But there's also Indiana Jones and it's Raiders of the Lost Ark is also there, too. I didn't see
that one.
That's on a different theater. Anyway, off that tangent.
Oh, that's fine.
It's Evil Dead. We're fans of Bruce Campbell.
As they're walking down the street, I have to be able to call you something because I can't say what you said your name was.
Yes.
The street sign is Madison. She likes that. And he's like, it's not a name. Tom Hanks, have you not seen how many girls are named Madison? This is nothing new.
This is new, and this is a movie that introduced the name Madison to girls. This is what is at fault for that dumb name. I dislike that name. Madison, Mackenzie, Taylor. Those are not names. They're last names street names.
Do we want to get into
and they're stupid.
How these names affect you on a daily basis?
Well, I don't work with that many people that are named this, so it's good. Or encounter these people.
All right.
But this movie is at fault.
I would never have guessed.
Well, it's not. I looked it up because I thought when I was watching, I thought there's no way this movie introduced the name Madison. It is.
I'm blaming you, Ron Howard and Grazer. Because
who's Grazer?
He's like the producer, writer.
Did he?
No, he didn't write it.
Okay.
He had the story concept.
Oh,
and he did like producing, and then 18 people wrote the script.
18 people wrote this script?
I just say that because
I think only 3 people did.
Well, the thing that is goofy about script writing is only certain people get the bill, and then a ton of people don't get any billing whatsoever.
Yeah, there'll be rewrites. Like Patton Oswalt usually gets they hand him a script and then he punches up and adds jokes to, and will not get any credit for. He gets money, of course, but because of the Writers Guild. Yay, knowing things.
The more you know. They go back to the apartment, and you see that they're in bed. She gets up in the middle of the night to put some liquid courage on her legs.
Yeah, so I'm not too sure if she's not comfortable in bed. It's got to be
I'm assuming that it must feel uncomfortable in legs. And like
for her,
when she gets in the water, it's like stretching out.
Yeah,
because that's kind of how it looked.
Yeah, she quietly goes into the bathroom, gets some water. She has some Morton salt in her hand, sits down, puts it in the water, and then she lays down in it. And I really like the effect of her laying there, and then her tail unfolds.
Yeah,
beautifully over because it's longer than the tub,
and the effect of seeing her skin change into like
scales.
Scales, thank you. Although very simple and good stuff. That's all they needed to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's brushing her hair, seeing off to the side, and then you see her leg, the side of like her hip or something. Changes into scales. Now she just goes underwater. Tom Hanks wakes up and he's tired. What's going on? Oh, I'm just taking a bath. But she is panicking because she's trying to dry off her legs or her tail, basically. And so he breaks down the door because he's concerned about her. But by the time he breaks down, she covered up her legs, and now they're human. Or she covered her tail, and now she's human legs. So now this shows when she's wet, she gets her mermaid tail. When she's dry, she has human legs. So
and it introduces the fact that she's not willing to tell him just yet.
And that too. So he's just, what's going on? All right, whatever. Everything's fine. So that's when I was talking about Eugene Levy. He knows this. And so he's going around New York City, and he finds a woman that looks similar to, and has a backpack or whatever, hose or water, and sprays her.
And the reason why he does this is because I think it's the mentor that he had said, "What are you going to do? Run around New York and get women wet until you find her? In fact, I will."
And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to spray water on women that look similar to the picture, and then take a picture of them right away. It's not actually Daryl Hannah or
the first
Madison.
one, he has buckets.
Oh, it's a bucket? Okay.
And
that's right.
he tosses a bucket on her and then takes a picture. It's not her that he was tailing, and
husband gets punches him in the face. Yep. And he gets beat up off camera. You hear punching noises.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. They go on a date real quick.
Yeah.
And they're just walking around New York a little bit, and they just stop at
that famous park on the other side of the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yep. And that's where they're talking about a beautiful fountain. And it's got mermaids on it.
Yep.
And he's just looking at it, and he's like, I like this. I don't know why. And earlier in Alan's apartment, he's got aquarium stuff everywhere and fish stuff everywhere. Same as his office. And so he just really says, I really like this, but they're going to be tearing this park out because they're going to put up something else here.
And they didn't. That's still a park. I was like, Tom Hanks, you a liar.
Well, it's just an excuse later on because Madison takes off her neck, basically sells her awesome necklace, I guess.
Lion King necklace.
Yeah, and she trades it in for them not only to buy the fountain, which is not that big of a fountain, but still it's heavy, and has it shipped into his New York small apartment.
Yeah. And that's
her gift to him.
What finally triggers him to say, I love you to someone. That's what does it. Ladies, if you want your man to say I love you, you put an obscenely large water fountain in the bedroom.
It has to have mermaids in it, or maybe like naked cherub babies or something.
Peeing all over the place.
Yep, stuff like that. So they go on a date, and it's a very quick one, and a quick scene just to show that.
Biggest thing that stuck out to me was that they slowed down the end of the date where they're kissing. They slowed it down, and then they reverse it because they need the shot to last longer. I'm like, you cheats.
Yep. And the other thing is we keep looking at the skyline, and it shows the moon. And so that's our clock. It shows, it's getting closer and closer to a full moon.
Yep.
That's the other thing. And then now Alan is hanging out with his brother Freddie.
Playing racquetball.
And so they're at, they're playing racquetball, and Freddie is smoking a cigarette and goes over and grabs a beer and just talking about, Alan, you really changed. This girl really, really got underneath your skin, or you're really falling for her. Alan doesn't want to talk about it in the locker room, so Freddie grabs him, and he's doing wrestling moves on him.
But Alan's going along with
they're just playing along, and so now finally he's starting to open up that, yes, I'm really, really falling for Madison. They happen to go on another date just to go out, and this time they go out to eat lobster. She just tears into the lobster, like biting in through the exoskeleton of it, and just crunch, and people are watching her. Like,
which is pretty amazing. I'll give her credit. That's some good work right there if you're going to bite through that.
I don't think it's real. It's got to be a movie prop joke.
No, Daryl Hannah did that. She trained.
She's a vegetarian. She didn't actually do it. It was a prop.
These are all lies. Movies are lies.
Movies lie to me. And then they go ice skating. Alan is trying to, I think while they're having lobster, he tried to propose to her. They go ice skating, and he says, I'm sorry, I didn't make myself clear. I want to marry you.
Yeah. You missed the spoon flip, the fun spoon flip.
Tom Hanks is just kind of playing around with the spoon. It flies into another person.
Hit somebody,
an older guy.
I don't care. I was like, hey, that spoon flip is fun.
It was a bit of comedy. And I wish Tom Hanks would do more comedies nowadays.
Instead of crashing planes all the time. Gah.
Or not being a captain of a ship.
Come on, Tom.
Yeah, that's right. They go ice skating, and he says, "Oh yeah, I didn't make myself clear. I want to marry you. I want to be with you forever." And she's saying that can't happen. She's still not telling him that she's a mermaid, but she says that's not possible. I can't do it. But we can still be together for 4 more days, 3 more days, or something like that. Mm-hmm. She says. He gets frustrated because he really all of a sudden now wants to marry her and be with her forever. But I guess he was destined to be with her, basically. So it's all, I guess, all coming, his emotions and whatnot right away, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to make
if you believe in that sort of thing.
I'm trying to make excuses for the movie. Well, the movie's presenting it that way, I guess.
Well, yeah, he said that when he was drunk. that he feels like that's what's meant for him.
He gets angry at her because he sees some old people skating together, and he's getting frustrated that he's not going to be able to find anyone. He found her, and now she's going to go away. She's not telling him what's going on, and just yells at her. She runs away. He can't chase after her because he's got his skates on. And guy stops him. Yep. It's morning, and she is over by Brooklyn Bridge or whatever, over by the Hudson River, and it just shows that she's contemplating, should I just go back? Should I just leave him? Well, she decides, no, I'm going to go back because he's at work, bummed out, and she walks up to him. And she finally says, I will marry you. I guess the idea is that once she stays here, she can't go back and she can't see her life under the water. Is the idea. So she's giving that up for Alan. They're going to get married right away. He's so excited. We're going to get married right away. We got to get blood tests done. That's something in the past. That was a thing in the past.
It's not anymore.
No. What were the blood tests for?
I can't believe that they would have a way of testing if you are that closely related.
That's what it is.
That's what my original assumption
That's
of
probably
it was.
What it is. Because I remember in the musical Guys and Dolls, they're going to get married and said, well, we have to get our blood test taken. Yeah. And that's in the 50s. So
yeah, so it definitely didn't have anything to do with that.
Or 30s. Or even further back. That's got to be it. They weren't related, not cousins.
I don't know. It just... It seems like a really weird thing.
It was a very strange thing to say. I think even then in the 80s, whatever. But in
the 80s, they said that a lot in different movies. A lot.
Name one.
Nope.
Okay, I can't. But then Alan says, we can go to Maryland. You don't have to require blood tests to get a marriage license down there. And then he says, Freddie does that all the time when he gets married. He always goes to Maryland every time he gets married. He's excited. Madison's kind of, I love you, but I really, really don't want to do this, but I do. She's still conflicted.
Yeah. Then they go to the president's dinner.
The reason why they're going to the president's dinner is because Freddie has gotten in with more clientele, and so they got invited that way. I guess that's the reason why they're at the President of the United States.
And he asked Freddie if he can bring Mermaid.
Can I bring Madison instead of you? And he says, of course, because he's a good brother. And so now they're there at the same time because Eugene Levy put a tracker. No, he didn't.
Yeah, who knows?
But he's able to follow and know exactly where they are. He is dressed up as a waiter, but he's got a broken arm. Oh, yeah, because later on, he tried. Again.
It's the same people that he got wet.
Yeah, again. This time he got his arm broken, so now it's in a cast comically up.
Yeah.
And now he's dressed up as a waiter. And he has a plan this is with a backpack with water and a hose, and he's going to shoot Daryl Hannah or Madison with the water and take a picture, show everybody mermaids exist. Mm-hmm. It's really quick. I mean, the president that comes in is not Ronald Reagan. It's just
he looks like Mike Pence in my opinion.
He does. He does look like Mike Pence. And he says, I'm just a corn-fed boy from Kansas, but you guys are the apple of my eye.
They made him as generic and lame as possible.
Yeah, Mike Pence. So while they're having this dinner, Madison finally says, Alan, I have to tell you right now what my secret is. I want to tell you right now. Okay, he's fine. All right, let's do this. Let's go step outside and do this. Eugene Levy's sneaking up with the...
No, they
stop him.
They stop.
Okay. That's what I mean. I couldn't think of the name Secret Service. Yes. They see him, they stop him, and they're dragging him outside. I thought, nowadays they probably would have just put 2 in his head.
Oh, yeah.
Right away. Actually, he wouldn't have gotten that far because they screen people, everybody that works there, the president.
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Nope. But they're outside now. Eugene Levy's being thrown out of the banquet, but now Daryl Hannah, Madison, and Ellen are out there. Eugene Levy sees her. Slow motion, manages to shoot water, hitting her. No! She falls down and she's transforming. Alan got pushed off to the side because there's a crowd of people and there's photographers everywhere, and she's transformed into the mermaid.
Yep.
Pictures taking. Whoa, what's going on? She's calling for Alan. Alan sees her now that she's a mermaid, and he's just stunned and shocked.
Yep.
Not knowing what's going on. But since there's a president and Secret Service here, they both get scooped up
by the Secret Service.
By the Secret Service to get observed, not necessarily experimented on just yet, but to see what the hell's going on. So that's how the movie gets us to how the government gets involved. This is a long way around.
Bizarre.
Which is very, very strange. And I don't remember any of this as a kid.
Yeah.
I don't remember. So then they're in the Museum of Natural History, still in New York City, in the back rooms or whatever. Alan is now naked in a tank, and a bunch of scientists are watching him, and he's been in there for a couple of hours and are waiting for him to transform into a merman.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen because he's Tom Hanks. And he's covering up his junk with his two hands. Just, what's going on?
I'm not a fish!
I'm not a fish, I'm a man! And they dump with a crane Madison in, and Tom Hanks is just shocked and doesn't want to talk to her because he's, I don't know. I thought that was
one of the things that I really remember too was the way they made all the prosthetics and stuff look like she's dying during
later on because because she's been in there for a while. There have been the stress.
Yeah.
Because Alan doesn't want to talk to her. He's afraid of her. They finally realize Alan's just human. They put a bag on his head and they drop him off back at his apartment, and he doesn't want to talk to her anymore. And now she's stuck being experimented on. Yeah, and they show her scales are peeling off, and she looks pale. All that looked really good. And now Eugene Levy's there, and at first he was very excited. Oh, I've cracked the case. Mm-hmm. Everyone's going to believe me. But now this other doctor that's there doesn't care about her at all. I think he even says that they're going to probably dissect her. They
don't outright say it.
But they're going to.
They say that they're going to cut her open.
And so Eugene Levy sits down. He's having a change of heart. Like, I was just blinded. I just wanted to prove to everybody that I'm not crazy without thinking about how this affects the actual mermaid. And now watching her and how she's dying, basically, he's having a change of heart. So we cut back, and now Alan is being assaulted by photographers and reporters asking him, did you sleep with a mermaid? Oh, I heard the mermaid is even dating Burt Reynolds. Waka waka. Man, but luckily, Freddy comes to the rescue, pushes them all out of the way.
But he needs to know if anyone's with Penthouse.
Yeah, no. That's right. I'll talk to anybody if you're with Penthouse. Nobody? All right. Get in my car and we'll get out of here, Alan. Freddy knocks some sense into Alan, saying, because Alan's just, I can't believe the one woman I loved is actually a mermaid. And he's, so what? You love her, right? Who cares? She's amazing. So Freddy knocks some sense into him, and then that's when Tom Hanks in his apartment at the fountain, and he changes his mind.
Yes.
I'm going to save that woman I love.
Then he uses his tracker to find Eugene Levy.
Yes, Eugene Levy's is in a dentist's office getting his tooth repaired because he got punched in the face so many times. They have a fun little fight, and this is a fun little slappy fight where they're not actually really trying to hurt each other. They're just kind of wrestling, and Eugene Levy's trying to stab. But I mean, Eugene Levy's trying to stab Alan with a Novocaine needle, but accidentally stabs himself in the leg. And that stops the fight. And he says, I'm sorry, I didn't know that they were going to do this to her. They team up together, and they're going to get in and get her out. So their plan is that Eugene Levy says, I can get you in. Freddy and Alan are Swedish scientists that come in and go past the guards. And there's one guard as, I'm half Swedish, and is asking them questions. And how does John Candy talk his way through this?
Well, they start off just going, yeah. And that works for the first bit. Then he asks him, he gets suspicious, asks him another question. And then Freddy says something in Swedish that is the basic equivalent of,
hey, babe, I have a 12-inch penis.
Yep. And so when Alan asks him about it, he's like, I watch a lot of Swedish porn.
Yeah, I mean, so you watch it 400 or 500 times, you're going to start to learn a little bit of it. So that's all he knows in Swedish. They get in there, and they talk to Madison, and I love you, we're going to get you out of here. There's a bumbling guard at the door of the back of the museum, and their plan is they're yelling, she got laser beam eyes. She melted this guy's face off. Oh no!
Don't go in there.
Don't go in there, man. And so basically, John Candy stays back, and now Daryl Hannah is being carried out, covered up in blankets and towels and whatnot. They run out, and by the time that they're getting in the car, they leave, come by with their 12-inch penises.
Scientists.
12-inch Swedish penises. And why were they Swedish? Because they're Swedish fish candies? That's my connection.
Sure. I think it just someone came up with a joke, and
it's a joke.
Whatever.
They go back, and John Candy is on the top of the tank pretending to fish and smoking a cigar.
Yep.
Hi, boys. Last we see of John Candy. He needed more time in this movie. I think he should have been the lead character, in my opinion, and been more wacky.
I think that would have worked.
But now the chase happens, and the military and the Coast Guard are after him with helicopters and troop vehicles. See, the reason why they were there is because the Ghostbusters were nearby. That's what really reminded me of the same military vehicles and whatnot. And
hey, the National Guard has to have something to do once in a while.
I suppose so. They're in the car. They think they've gotten away with it. Oh, they're not even following us. Oh, they're right behind us. There's a quick little chase, and Eugene Levy says, "This is my fault. I'll stop them. Let me out right now." Let him out, and he puts his hand out. Stop.
And gets the intense music with it.
Stop. They're not stopping. He changes his mind, does a roll, whatever.
And he's done for the movie.
He's done for the movie. Oh, what a hell of a week I've had. And that's it. They're getting away because all the military trucks get stopped because there's a cabbie double parked, and it's the same cabbie that Tom Hanks took to go to Cape Cod. He's like, I'm not moving my cab. So the military guys all get out and just flip his car over. But that gave enough time for Tom Hanks and Daryl Hannah to get to
the park by the bridge again.
Yep. They say goodbye, but then the helicopter comes in with a bunch of frogmen, whatever.
Well, they're the Coast Guard.
A quick fight underwater. And really, the movie's going quick.
And then after, they fend off...
she uses her tail to kick that guy in the nuts.
Yeah, and Tom Hanks had jumped into the water to help her.
Yes.
And she breathes air into his face, and then that's it. That's good forever.
I think it's also that she's touching him too.
There's something
there's
going
some magic,
on.
Mermaid magic happening that he's now safe and able to be underwater. They fend off these couple of scuba diver Coast Guard guys, and she's able to swim really fast away, grabbing Alan, and now they're all of a sudden in the Caribbean again because there's coral reefs everywhere.
Yeah.
No, it's shot in there, but it's supposed to be
just offshore somewhere.
Hudson River.
And then crappy music kicks in.
Really bad lovey music.
Yeah, wow, bad.
So bad 80s music. And they're swimming around. Credits are rolling.
Fish are fishing.
Coral is reefing. The camera pans, and it's
big green
Atlantis.
Underwater.
This
kingdom.
is a really bad matte painting.
You can't.
Underwater.
There's no detail to it. It's just like
it
looks like it could be a castle.
Is it a cave? There's blue lights, kind of, or something. Is this Atlantis? Whatever. That's their home, and now they're going there to live forever.
Yep, because Alan cannot go back now. Once he goes there, he can't leave.
Well, they're going to be together. You can't go back because she's going to be hunted the entire time.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I remember of the movie is that crappy matte painting of just being confused. Wait, the movie's over now because this bad music is playing? All right. Well, whatever. We wrapped it up, I guess. Yeah. And that's Splash. I liked it. I thought it was a cute movie. I think it needed more comedy, though. It needed to be a little bit bigger for me.
If it had more comedy, it probably would be better. And not just throwaway comedy.
Yes.
Because to me, in the end, I felt the movie fell kind of flat. And by the time I was done, I was like, fine.
And that's why I don't know anybody that really knows this movie either, and no one really talks about it because it's just an average movie. It's there. It's cute. It's an okay romantic comedy movie, but it's nothing that really stands out as being one of the greats, I guess.
Oh, not at all. Not even close.
No, not at all. Daryl Hannah's fine in it. She plays a little awkward. I don't know if she's not really strong of an actress, at least right there.
Yeah,
she wasn't okay.
Yeah, it was.
And Tom Hanks wasn't big enough. And there's a couple times it seems like he's trying to act like Bill Murray. That's what I noticed a couple times. Just his mannerisms, but he's not. That's not his comedy, I guess. His style.
I didn't care for the zippity doodah.
No, that was bad.
That annoyed me. But that's probably written in. I don't care. But
Tom Hanks did it, and he saying it way too much. It's a harmless movie and it's fine. Yeah. It's definitely a Sunday afternoon movie. Like, oh, it's on, whatever.
Yeah, if you talk over it, no one's going to feel cheated.
And there's a couple comedic bits here and there. You should have given more stuff for John Candy to do. A light recommend, I guess. I only saw it once and barely remembered it, so I got nothing there.
And I've seen it a few times, and I thought my memory was like, yeah, it'd be good.
Yeah.
And then getting around and watching it now, it's like, nah, I don't think I'd recommend it.
Okay.
I would tell people to pass.
Do you like Tom Hanks? Because I think most people like Tom Hanks, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because I can't trust anybody that doesn't like Tom Hanks.
Like personally?
Personally, let that be known.
I don't know him. He might be a jerk.
But he's the nicest guy in Hollywood.
Maybe that's just a marketing scheme.
I've been lied to again.
Movies in Hollywood.
Movies, Ron Howard. Anyway.
And that was Splash. If you want to get a hold of us, email at therewinderspodcast@gmail.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at RewindersPod. You can find this podcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher. Please rate and review.
You want to know what I learned?
Yes.
I miss John Candy in movies.
Oh.
I know. I not to bring it down, but I really miss that guy.
And what I learned was, it don't matter if she's got fins or legs. As long as you two got love, that's all you need.
Wow. That was a great song. Keep going. Maybe that song's way better than the end of this movie song.
That's all you need is love from a fish or a lady. All you need is love.
Which side do you want? Do you want the lady to be the top half, or the bottom half to be the fish, or the top half to be a fish, the bottom half to be a lady? Questions.
I've heard this question before. I think I would have to stick with the fish bottom and the lady top, I guess.
Fish bottom. We are the Rewinders. Thanks for listening.
Fish bottoms.
Fish bottom lovers.